Welcome, everybody. This is the Playlist Shuffle podcast on IG Live. You know what that means. It is our premiere lounge talk segment. We're starting off season 3 with a guest appearance with our first ever artist to show up on the podcast. She is an awesome person. We met in California and at the Guild of Music Supervisors annual conference, and she is an awesome person. And we're about to let her join in a minute, but just some housekeeping. As I said, we are starting season 3 as of right now with this episode, but later on, season 3 will solely be talking about one of my favorite shows, one of my favorite animes, one of my favorite music, and that is Attack on Titan. So every episode is dedicated to talking about a piece of music within that show. I got five soundtracks to talk to you all about. 5 soundtracks, and I'm going to get through them all, and I'm going to blow your minds as this show has blown mine, and tell you what the music is all about, who composed it, how it was composed, how it was even mixed, and how it progressed within the show. The show has 4 seasons, 5 soundtracks. I'm going to talk about it all. All right. So without further ado, we are going to let our guests join in. So I accept this. Miss Zhaklin.
Okay, I'm on.
Hello. Oh,
Hi.
hold on.
How are you? Oh, we're freezing?
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Well, welcome to the Playlist Shuffle podcast. I've been waiting to have you on the show. Welcome and join in and just sit back and relax and just get comfortable. Be yourself. That's the number one thing about this podcast. Just be your authentic self.
Hi. Thank you. Thank you for having me. It's awesome.
No problem. Well, like I said, we met at the Guild of Music Supervisors conference back in, what was it, October?
Something like that.
Yeah. So it's been a couple months, and it was a really fun time, fun day. I think I met you. I was looking for a room where one of the presentations was being held at, and me and you, we was looking for the same room, and we decided to just walk together. And I think it was a guy just taking us to the room, and then that's when we started talking to each other and getting to know each other. Excuse me. And
Yeah.
it just hit on from there.
Yeah. It was the first session of the day.
Yeah. So I'll let everybody know about yourself. Give everybody your backstory, what you do, where you're from, what you've been doing, what you've been creating, and let everybody know about it.
Sure. So I'll give you the short version.
Right.
So I'm Zhaklin. I'm an Armenian. I was born in Iran, raised in Armenia, went to Russian school. Then we migrated to US. So basically, I graduated the music school back in Armenia, majoring in piano. Then when we moved here, basically I had to go to like high school, and I played in a choir. And then after that, I went to college. I got my degree in music industry. So while in college, I started writing because music has always been my love since I was a kid. I can remember I was just like always loving music. Like I was like 7 years old, like crying my mom buy me a piano. I don't know where that came from. It's like, it's something that it's instilled in you. It's like with God, you it's something you have to do. So yeah, that's my short story.
All right. Well, that's funny because it's a similar background with me, because I came up in high school playing concert band, and I played the clarinet.
Wow.
From middle school and then high school. And so I've done a lot of stage performance with that. And then I went to college, got a degree in music business and communications. I was playing auxiliary percussion while I was in the music department within that school. And that was for my bachelor's degree. And then got my master's in film and just, trying to see what I wanted to do and how to combine the two. And then that's how I figured out about music supervision. And then it's just been on that road ever since.
Wow. So
And then
you got
once,
masters in film too. That's awesome.
yeah. And it all started because I took a class during my bachelor's. They introduced a new videography course, and I wrote the script for our final project and did a little casting and found some music on YouTube, free music. And I just loved the experience ever since. And so I was like, I want to do some film too. But I knew I wanted to do music as well. So I was like, how do I combine the two? And then it was a class, and my professor said he had to collaborate with the music supervisor. And I had him explain what a music supervisor is. And he went down, and I was like, and I just had to chill down my spine. And that's how I realized, wow, that's it right there. And so for the past 3 years, I've been trying to catch up as to what a music supervisor is, what they do. And during my Google search, that's when the Guild of Music Supervisors came up about it. And I was like, oh. So I just spent all that time, especially during the pandemic, on YouTube and watching all the panels and stuff like that. So I was like, this is very, informal and stuff like that.
Yeah. So when
And for those, I just want to shout out, camera can focus. I felt official on that day at the conference. You still got yours.
Yeah, I still have mine too.
Go ahead, what you were about to say.
Oh yeah, I was just gonna say that same thing as you. It's like film and music, like always been my love, like from the beginning. It's like almost same level because like I was like an only child, and like film and TV was like my escape from my own reality and things like that. So I was always just like, in front of the TV watching a movie or a television show or some kind of a musical event. And I was like acting out as a kid, like comedy stuff. I was like making my own comedy skits. It's like if somebody was like naturally was being funny and stuff, I would like imitate them. So it was like our family joke. They're like, be careful around Zhaklin because she's going to make fun of you tomorrow. So,
I've seen your reels too, and I was like, hey, you are quite the character.
Yeah, so I always love making people laugh, and on top of like, of course, performing is like a number one love for me, the music and stuff like that. Yeah.
Fun fact: I am the only child as well.
Oh yeah, how many things we have in common?
Right, so we both know how that feels.
I know, and, it sucks.
And but a lot of times I spend my time ever since I graduated film school just editing movies to different music, and so that's where my love sort of like progressed, especially during the pandemic. I just took the time. I just take a random scene, say like I don't know, from The Lion King, and just put different music to it. I'll put a rock song or a hip hop song to a stampede scene.
Come out.
It was good.
Yeah.
It was all right. It's just it's just me passing time while we're in stuck inside our houses in Florida, and so it's just doing whatever. And so. But yeah, so it's similar backgrounds with us, and glad to hear about your story. I love to hear a lot of the artists and music people's backgrounds and stuff. I love to see like their perspective and their come up as well. And speaking of come up, you want to share like any projects you're working on? I know you got a single out. I played it a few times in my last episode. You want to explain that for us?
Well, yeah, I Am Enough. That's my last single. I collaborated with a couple of my friends. So we worked via Zoom during the COVID times. You know how it was. They're both from Australia. So I would tell them like as far as the lyrics go, like what I wanted to express, um, coming like my voice to be heard, like how and these two ladies, they were like so like curious and interested. They're like asking me different kind of questions about my life and overall and all the everything. So it's like we're having like this great conversation via Zoom, and that's how they started. Like we started like all three of us building the lyrics. Then once we had the lyrics, basically I started working on the music part of it. So I wrote the music part. Then I'm like, you know what? I want it to be this like Spanish flavor because I just love Latin flavors. Like naturally, I'm like a dancer when when I hear something good, I want to dance to it. So I'm like I want because I am like an international artist. I do love to sing in different languages. So I said we can bring out the rhythm of the Latin, and so we had this great Spanish guitar player, Frank Hernandez. He's also, I think, a different state. I think Arizona or something like that. So I had him play the part. Like basically, me and my producer, we said this is what we want to have some kind of a hook and stuff like that. So he created that part virtually, obviously. Then my producer worked very hard to make sure to fit it in the music perfectly. And my producer, actually, I met him through ASCAP Expo back in a few years ago. And just like you, we had such a great connection. And like we started working on one song, then one song became an EP. And then he did another song for me that I wrote for my mom. I'm like, this is such an important song for me, so I need you to do it because I wanted to make sure it comes out the way I want it. And he did that, and he also did this one. So I'm very happy with the result. I hope you love it too. And I know you also liked my song "Searching for You" that I wrote for my dad. I know it is one of your favorite too.
Yes, it was. Once after the conference was over and I had to leave the next morning, I had to fly out back to my home.
Yeah.
I spent the whole flight just listening to the whole album, and that song just stuck out to me. I was like, I don't know why. It's just I love the production behind it. I love the vocals. I love the mix with it, and so it just felt pretty powerful.
Yeah.
As well, and so yeah.
Yeah,
was
that
really
song
nice.
does touch a lot of people. I think for that reason, and I also try to use my culture, the instrumentation. We have this instrument called duduk. It's purely Armenian wind instrument, and that instrument alone, if you play it, it just translates the sadness that you want to say. Like you don't even need words. That instrument translates the sadness. So I used the duduk in several songs on the EP. So yeah, but that song does touch a lot of people, just like you said, for that reason too. Yeah.
I love it how people, especially artists, can find some sort of meaning or symbolism to an instrument. When the instrument can talk, and you don't need like the lyrics behind it. Let the instrument talk and understand like what it was symbolized behind the song and what it's meant for. Because there's always a reason behind this instrument and that instrument, and why is this mix so low, and why is that mix so high. And so I always find an interpretation behind it. That's why I love doing this podcast, because I always like to interpret music and the composition behind it. And I don't know, were you at the Arcane session at the conference?
No, I don't think. No, I don't think I was.
Okay, so I don't know if you listened to my podcast about the conference, but a quick story. So I went there. I met the music department behind Arcane League of Legends, and I got to ask the question about one of the songs in the album, and I asked them, this I know this song represents this character, and could they like explain the composition, the inspiration behind the production and the composition behind it. And they went into like full detail about how they wanted this style of song to sound, you know, pretty distorted, how they live in the underground, and it's all about the struggle and being all rebellion and stuff like that. So it's stuff like that I just love hearing about it, and I love to enjoy. And I also love listening to songs and music around the world.
Yeah.
I always think like listening to music around the world, it just emphasizes how big, you know, our world is, instead of just, you know, being in like one country listening to like certain genres. But when you hear music around the world, I don't know, it just like expands your mind a bit. I recently heard an artist or band out of Serbia. I think it's in Serbia, and so they mix like their traditional cultural roots behind the music to like a popular element to it. So I just love the style and the unique sound to it.
Yeah, like I'm so glad that I grew up like in Armenia, because we were exposed to the music from Europe all over, you know, and that's why we're like so open to listening to different kind of music, not only like not our own Armenian pop, let's say, but different kind of music from Europe, from US. And I think that's what like one thing is missing in US, is that people are so just used to just listening to one kind of music. And so if you introduce them to something a little bit different, they're like, oh, it doesn't sound modern, or it doesn't sound like pop or whatever. It's like you have to come out of that window. You have to be able to be open to, you know, different kind of sound. You have to receive it. But sometimes I put my foot down. No, you have to. You're gonna have to get used to this. But yeah, and
that's why
a lot of people don't know the, you know, importance of the music supervision, and I know that's something you're pursuing like too. And it's like, if you were in that session, I think, with me, when they're playing the scene, let's say without music, it like literally has no effect on you. It's like you will get bored no matter what the dialogue is. But when you put a music to it, it's like 100% change of the emotion that you feel with the scene that is going on. And the fact that was like so interesting too, when they were choosing different songs, each supervisor has their own choice of song. Yes. What a difference that made too. That was like incredible for me. Like I was like, oh, you know, that's like amazing. What a change it can do. Different song will give you a different kind of emotion. So yeah. So
absolutely.
It's a very important job, I think. And it's so sad that they're not paid fairly and they're not unionized. So we want to make sure that they do get unionized. They get a fair pay. You know, it's not right that you do the job and you have to wait, God knows, a year or something before you get paid. I mean, for us musicians, that's what happens to us, obviously, if we get a sync. But for them, same thing. It's like, it's not fair. You know, they work like 12, 14-hour shifts, and to not get fair pay, it's not right. So we have
absolutely.
to appreciate it as an audience too. How much?
Absolutely, I agree.
Yeah.
Hashtag unionize music supervision. Mark that. Hashtag unionize music supervision right now.
We said that.
You know, this reminds me when I was watching this French show on Netflix called Into the Night, and the premise behind it is these people have to fly in the airplane and avoid the sun because the sun is killing people.
Wow.
It's this apocalypse seminar, and they have to fly to this bunker.
Mm-hmm.
And there was an episode where they were showing a character's backstory, and she's the modern millennial character of the show, and showing her background. She's like this internet person, I think an artist as well, and they played a song called Purdue. I think the artist name is Angel or Angel. I'm not really sure how to pronounce it.
Okay. I'll definitely check it out. Okay.
Yeah, and I spent the time, looking through the lyrics, studying the lyrics, embarrassing myself saying the French lyrics, and then saying the English translations, and just telling people how this song, just summarized the character of this person. And so I always, that's why I love music supervision so much, because something as simple as a song behind a character, it's just to describe a character, and it's just to, when you pay attention enough, you'll understand deeply just how you understand the character as well, and maybe you can relate in some point. And so that's why I love the power of music supervision. That is the total power of music supervision, music coordinating, or whatever you want to call it, or sync licensing.
Yeah.
And I always tell my friends who are artists, who are independent artists, to find some sync placement opportunities, because a lot of times, especially during the pandemic, they're on IG Live performing concerts, worrying about Spotify streams and stuff like that. I said, that's cool, but do some research and find some sync placements. Find a sync agency, and see which agent or music supervisor would work for your style, because that's always important. There's always someone who loves that style of genre, mainly. And so I always tell them to just, do some research about it.
Yeah, I mean, that's how I've been doing this a long time, but I mean, I gave it a break for a long time because I was going through some stuff, but COVID, basically what happened, it just basically revived my music career. Basically, I had time to sit home and be creative. It was I think I've been most creative when I was basically free of worrying about bills and day job and whatever, And so I did my acting. I did a lot of comedy stuff for people during that time. I think it was great making people laugh because they needed it. And I enjoyed doing that. And also I started diving in the music, started taking courses and especially for sync. Like I said, I already have music industry degree, but as you know, music business changes every second.
Right. It's very fluid.
Rules change every minute, and you have to just keep up with it. But also the sad thing about music industry, which is really frustrating for me, is even the top people. It is so complicated that even the top people in the game, they still don't have the accurate 100% information. If you ask 3 experts the same question, you're gonna get probably 3 different answers. And that's the bad thing about the music business, because we should have a straightforward laws. You can't be maybe this, no. That's the frustrating part. And as an indie artist, we have to shuffle so many roles in order to do your work correctly. I mean, releasing music alone is nothing. You have to make sure you do it right. There's so many steps behind the scene that has to be done in order for it to be successful or whatever. When I'm working with my co-writers and things they're always telling me, Zhaklin, you should have a course so you can teach us how do you all doing all this. I'm yeah, it's a good idea. Maybe I'll do some consultation. So I'm I started posting it on my website. So if anybody wants to book a consultation, if they have any music biz questions, they can do that. But yeah, it's so complicated. And you're by yourself. You don't have a sibling to do something. So everything. You have to be photographer, you have to be a marketing manager, you have to be the administrator, everything. Promotion, video, it's like too much, you know.
Got you. Got you. And speaking about being a teacher, I wanted to ask you, because we're talking about music business and we're talking about the guild. If I remember correctly, you're in the guild, right? You're a member?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
So I'm not a member, but I do tell my independent artist friends to do some research and see if they can get in as a member as well. So if you don't mind, could you tell the people the benefits of being a member and what were your goals, on your way to becoming a member versus being a member now? Like, what are your current goals as a member as well, if you can share that?
Yeah, so like one of my big mentors, Amira, she's the one who introduced me about the Music Supervisors Guild, and she's an amazing person. Like, she always there to help. So we started like doing, I think during COVID, during all that time that I joined and everything. So because of the COVID, a lot of things weren't happening. So we did like an online awards show, which was really fun to see everybody in that environment to be celebrated for their work. My main goal was like, in order to, meet these incredible people that do this job. First of all, it is so interesting what they do. It's so complicated. So I wanted to be able to have an opportunity to create authentic relationships with these people, and we finally had a chance, a few months ago. We had like the in-person event, which was really fun to meet everybody. And somebody like me who's like so like I'm a like shy person. I'm only live when I'm at the stage, but other than that, I just want to be alone and in my own corner. So it's like so out of my comfort zone, but I was trying. I was trying to get out there and meet these people. It is difficult for me, but I'm trying to do it because, like you said, you have to get out of your comfort zone in order to accomplish something. So, so that's what we're trying to do. Yeah. Nice. I would definitely recommend anybody, like an artist or a songwriter, definitely join the guild, because first of all, you're supporting their work, and there's opportunities to meet other creatives like yourself. And, just like you and I met, we wouldn't have had this chance if we were, we didn't go to that event, right? So it's like, every day is an opportunity to meet somebody great.
Right. Yeah. Likewise. And I was introduced to the guild, like I said, through Google, but I did take an online class for music supervision. My professor, Ryan Svensson, he basically, laid it out what the guild is all about, and he had some guest speakers within the guild to come in and speak and share their knowledge and stuff like that. And so I knew I had to make it my mission to somehow go to some sort of event. And at first I was going to go to the conference online, but then something just told me, just go for it. Yeah. Just go for it. Just take the flight, take the plane, pay for the hotel stay, all that good stuff. My bank account said, all right now. All right, you do what you want to do.
Yeah.
No, but it was all worth it. Right? I'm sorry?
Ryan is a great trumpet player, right? I think he plays trumpet.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And so I sort of surprised him when I went to the panel. He was shocked to see me. I was like, oh. And we met each other. We took pictures and all that stuff. And Livy as well. Livy and I, we both graduated from our masters from Full Sail University, and so that was a fun thing to learn about. And speaking of Ryan, Ryan is joined us right now. Hi, Ryan. That's the great professor. That's the greatest professor.
Yes.
No, he's the greatest professor.
You were teaching USC Extension too, right? Mm-hmm. Where did you take it? Yeah.
Yep.
I was at that
in
same panel
UCLA
too.
Extension.
Yeah, I heard them talk too on that panel. It was a great panel.
Yeah, it was awesome. It was really awesome. And but thank you for sharing so much about the benefits of being a member and what you can expect. Hopefully, when this gets uploaded, all the artists can learn a few things because you can join in as a member
Yeah, you can
or as an artist,
be a member, you
composer.
can volunteer. There's like so many different options. Like I said, for me, it's like I wanted to get to know these people, you know, on a personal level, make authentic relationships with them. And honestly, they do amazing work. Like I said, it's baffling because the movie without music, it's like, you know, it's nothing. Music
Right.
makes the movie, so that's fine. You know,
Right.
we have to appreciate them. We have to support them, and you know, because they do a lot for indie artists too. A lot of I know a lot of music supervisors go out of their way to, you know, get indie artists sync because they do want to support indie artists. So, yeah.
Absolutely, and not even just, you know, being an artist. You can be like on a label,
Yeah.
publishing company. You be a music coordinator, anything basically in music. You know, you can be a member, be some sort of a sponsor, and you know, just connect with other creatives. So that's the fun part about the music community, especially within the guild. And I just had a ball. I had a time meeting with people, and I remember I sent an email when I first learned about music supervision. I sent an email to Dave Jordan and Nora Felder.
Yeah.
The funny thing was, I was watching Stranger Things at the time, and I was seeing all the names coming up in the music supervision title. I was like, I see Nora Felder. I'm like, well, she did an awesome job with Stranger Things, and at this point, I'm watching season 3, and I was like, man, the music is pretty cool in here. I know it costs a lot of money, but this is like really awesome work, and so I'm still looking forward to meeting her one day.
Oh yeah,
one day.
I actually was lucky to meet her at the one of the guild supervisors events celebrating the Emmy Awards for the nominees.
Man.
So yeah, I took a picture with her. So I was like, so she's so nice. Yeah, she's so nice. Yeah.
I did listen to her in the.
I met Jen Malone. Her story was amazing. How she got started, it blew my mind. You know, she was like a successful PR person, and like, but she decided, she has a passion for music supervision. Like, she literally dropped everything, started from the beginning to become a music supervisor genius that she is right now. So it's like, you know, those kind of stories, when you hear it, it's so inspiring. So it's like, it's never too late to chase your dreams, people. Go for it.
Never too late. Never too late.
Never too late.
And speaking of movies, do you have a favorite film or series? And how would you see your song be placed in one of those?
Like I said, like, I love film and TV. It's like, you know, it's like one of my passions. There's like so many shows that I like. I mean, right now the new one that I like is Tulsa. Have you seen Sylvester Stallone?
I haven't seen it yet.
Oh, you gotta watch that. It's really good. Like shows like Succession, Outlander, like period pieces like Bridgerton. I think I would love my song to be like in the show like Lupin. Have you seen that Lupin on Netflix? It's a French show.
Talk about it.
I mean, I love that show. And especially like some of my co-writers, they like wrote to me, she's like, Zhaklin, your song will be so good with this. I'm like, because one of my songs, the second verse is in French. I don't know if you heard that one. I love the French language, even though I don't speak it, je ne sais pas. But my pronunciation is like so good, I can fool French people. I'm like, je m'appelle Zhaklin, and they're like, and they start talking like stuff.
Right.
Know.
You will know I can't speak French. You'll know I can't speak
it. So one of my songs, Tragedy or Luck, it has very like a 007 vibe too. So it's like, I would love, you know, my song, just like you said, one of those characters, is like it becomes one of the characters. It just like tells a story without the dialogue. That would be like my dream scene if there was such a thing. So I would love that, of course. I would celebrate it, and you're invited to the party.
Hey. You know what I'll do? I'll take a scene from Lupin and edit one of your songs in there. How about that?
I really love it. Yeah, I love that show. It's really good.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
And I was listening to an artist. I might say her name wrong. Obviously, I can't speak French. Her name Indila.
Probably.
I was listening to her. I was listening to her, and I was like, y'all can make a great, duo if you work together. If you look her up, I think you may recognize her. I can't pronounce her name right, as always, but
I will definitely look it up.
Yeah, Indila. That's how you spell it.
Okay, I will definitely look it up. Like, you know how much I love TVs. Look, like I have this series. Like I watched this series when I was a kid back in '80s. Mm-hmm. It's like a Italian, like a mafia show.
Nice.
It's like, and imagine it's like the music is by the famous what's his name? I forgot the composer's name, but anyway, Macchioni, I think, the famous composer. Like the music makes the series. You know what I mean? It's so good. Mm-hmm. So that's how much.
Trust me, I got my own collection. I got like I'm starting a Godzilla collection. I still got more to go.
Yeah.
From the beginning and all the way to modern times. I'm collecting them all, and I got some other collections. Mm-hmm. And so, me too. I love collecting TV shows. The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, the Boondocks. I collect them all. And
like I even love the show like from Australia back in the day. So imagine like I came here in US years past. I was like looking for it. I found it on eBay and I bought it. It's like because every time you watch it, it takes you to that time when you were watching it. Mm-hmm. It's music and film do that to you, right? I think they just take you back to the time you experienced that part of your life. So I think it's fun. Yeah.
A lot of European shows I've watched, and obviously the pandemic made me do it, but a lot of the European shows I've been watching, they're always somewhat apocalyptic. I don't know why. So like I explained, Into the Night, they're avoiding the sun that kills people. Uh-huh. And then all of a sudden there's this, I think it's a German show where the rain is killing people.
Oh boy.
And then I recently watched, I think a Swedish show that's like a huge flood is coming because the dam broke and it's going to like flood the whole town. And so it's just like, what is with European shows and the apocalypse?
You know what? I think they're each taking each other's, the screenwriting thing. It's like they have the same theme. Like the other day I discovered this, I think it was a show from Netherlands on Netflix. It says, I think it's called I Hate Christmas. So it was dubbed in English. I watched it. It was like interesting. It was fun. So today I was looking at Netflix. I'm like, I look another one. It says I Hate Christmas, but it was like in German show. I started watching it. And it's the same theme. It's almost the same thing. I'm like, okay, it's probably they're using the same thing and just like redoing it in different languages. It's probably what's happening.
Yeah, and there's a Swedish show about a volcano. Right, and there's a Swedish show, something about a volcano. I forgot what it's called. And they found a person who came out of the volcano in a pile of ash or something like that. I was like, what is going on?
That's funny.
But they're entertaining. They're entertaining, and I'm trying to watch the show on Netflix. The new Trolls. It's this big giant monster of literally a troll, and so I'm trying to start that soon enough. And I think it's a European show. I'm pretty sure. but I want to start that real soon.
Yeah,
But
okay.
so we discussed how you wanted your song in a series of your own, and the scene and the character representations and all that stuff. But when we talk about you composing your song, what would you say, and if you can explain it, your go-to sound that makes Zhaklin so unique in her songs, whether it be an instrument? I know you explained the what was it, the tuk-tuk?
Duduk.
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 All right. Duduk. Whether it's an instrument like the duduk, or some rhythm or melody or a key signature, what would you explain? What would you say your go-to sound is in, if not majority of your songs?
Yeah. So basically, I am known for my weird chords, as my producer calls it. Zhaklin's unique weird chords. He's like, Zhaklin, you need to send me the MIDI of the piano because we know you're using those weird chords. So I'm like, I guess it's like, I love using like diminished chords and things like that. Okay. I don't use that same kind of a fourth chord progression like they do in pop music. I always stick something weird in there that that sounds weird to your ear, but I mean, if you're a musician or if you appreciate music, you might appreciate it. Like like the song that I wrote for my mom, it's like I use very like a jazzy chords, and it's like it like literally changes keys. So it's like I hope you can listen to it and let me know if you like it.
Absolutely, absolutely.
It's an Armenian, but I think music translates, language. I think you don't need to, like when I was a kid, I was like literally listening to Persian songs that my dad used to listen to it. Like I was like, that was my way of connecting with him because he wasn't with me anymore. Like I would like the times when I was like missing him, I would like put those songs that he was the one who loved those songs. It was like, even though it was like in Persian, I didn't understand what he was saying, but the melody itself was like so sad, and the way it was written, like you can feel the sadness of the music. Like you don't even need to know what it's saying in the lyrics because like you can feel the music. So right. I think like that's why I think music is like universal language. You don't even need to, understand what it's saying.
Amen. I say that all the time. I can listen to a song, not know what they're saying, and it'll probably take me a month to even look up the translations.
Yeah.
But because I enjoy it so much, and it just takes me into another zone. It just, as soon as I close my eyes, and just like I'm not even worried about what they're saying, I can just feel like the passion behind it and the creativity behind it. That's all I need.
Yeah.
And then I'll do some research in the end.
Of course, yeah. It's funny. There are some people who are like always like listening to the lyrics, like they connect the music with the lyrics. Like I'm the opposite. Like for me, I just like the music has to grab my ear first. Like the songs probably I know I love. Like I've been listening to probably 10 years. I might not even know the lyrics to it, honestly. But I'm not one of those people who will sit and listen, sing the lyrics. Because I'm just like so into the music. Like I just love the music. So I'm like, that's all I want to listen to. So
absolutely. We got a question in the comments real quick.
Oh, we do? Okay.
Lawrence would like to know, if you have an American artist, who is your favorite and who would you compare yourself to?
Oh. Comparing part, I like, honestly, I can't answer that question because like I don't like to be compared to anybody. Like I like to have my unique voice. So that's like one of the questions. Like I know music supervisors and stuff, they always want to hear like sounds like I don't know. But like I mean, my idol was like Whitney Houston. I mean, still is. I mean, like, I mean,
Mm,
Barbara Streisand, Whitney Houston. You know,
come
those people.
on now.
Like, I was like the biggest Whitney Houston fan. I mean, you should have seen my wall. Like, literally, I have all her CDs.
Yeah.
And I'm so fortunate that I went to her concert. Um, I'm like so fortunate that I got to do that, and I was like sitting very front row. I was like her part
Oh,
of
you
her
were
fan club.
front row.
Yeah, I was a part of a fan club.
What? Oh
So
man.
so yeah.
I tried to go to a Linkin Park concert and that didn't work out too well. But I love Linkin Park.
Yeah.
But I got so many artists. But Whitney Houston, that was the GOAT.
Yeah,
She
like
was the
I
GOAT.
love Sting. Like Sting's voice is like so unique. You know, and the way he writes songs, I love the way he writes melodies. So I went to Sting's concert too in Hollywood Bowl. It was so awesome with an orchestra, and I love how every time he arranges his songs so differently. So you never get tired of listening. So one time he might do with the orchestra, one might he might do like a jazz trio. It's like he's an amazing musician. Like he can change it up like that so many times. So.
Right.
Yeah. So many good
It's
ones.
crazy. It's so crazy because Sting was part of the Arcane soundtrack. And when I first saw it, I was like, what is Sting doing? It's like, Sting is on the track? What is this? And it was so good. I think it was the last song you hear in the series, if I'm not mistaken. But it sounded so... Oh, I can't even describe the words, but it was so unique, like you said. And at first his voice is just so prominent. It's just him. And then the instruments just sort of stay in the back, and they're like, it's methodical, and then it progresses in the ends. But it's Sting. You can't really like confuse anybody with Sting because he has his own style, and he matched it with the show.
Like, listen, like a lot of people, they might have like the voice, you know what I mean? Like, you know, a lot of African Americans, like you guys are like born as singers. Like you guys are like naturally singers. All of you, it's like it's a God-given gift. But what I'm saying is like somebody doesn't have to be that like special like Mariah Carey or Whitney Houston. Those are like voices. You know what I mean? They're like, but when you have something unique that you cannot compare to, then that means you are the X factor. You have that uniqueness about you. And Sting has that voice that, whenever I hear him sing, like, I love it. I mean, it's just like, it's a preference, or yeah.
It's a thing about having, when you have the voice and you work with it and adapt it to the point that no one else can replicate that. That's the very like special thing about it.
Yeah.
And so that's why Sting and Whitney Houston is always those talents are on their own level.
Yeah, like right now when I hear a lot of the newcomers, like singers, when I hear them, it's almost like a lot of times they sound so similar, like I can't even tell without looking at the screen who's like they have all this new thing going on, singing like this, like you know what I mean, like making a nasal thing, like almost sounding like drunk, and but you cannot differentiate these artists, you know what I mean, like because they sound so similar to each other. That's why I think it's important to bring something unique about your voice. I mean, that's has always been my prayer. I'm like, God, just like, I know I'm not like a vocalist, but I want something unique about my voice that can touch somebody. You know what I mean? That's all I want. So.
I like it. And that sort of brings me to my next question. If you had, any advice to give to upcoming artists who are wanting to expose their talent in their craft, what would you say? Because like I said, you are the first artist to come on this show. So if you have any advice, what would it be?
I'm so happy you asked me that. And I tell you why.
I'm glad you're happy about it. I'm very glad you're
And
happy
I'll
about
tell
it.
you why. I feel like a lot of artists, like especially indies, we're like so desperate to like let's say get a sync or whatever it is. Like first of all, you're afraid. First of all, you're afraid to say no because you might come off diva or whatever, or hard person to work with. So my advice would be, like, don't be afraid to stand your ground, and don't be so fast to give away your rights, because they are your rights. Okay, especially when you're a writer, your food and thing is like it's your writing. It's not as much as the performing. It's like the writing part. So I would say, there are a lot of sync agents, like great sync agents, like the one I work with, Tamara Bubble, and, people like Mark Fraser. There's some great agents out there that, they don't take piece of your pie, they just take whatever, is for them, for that sync. But there's like a lot of libraries that take your publishing, and I'm so against that. I'm really against people taking writers' publishing when it's completely unnecessary. Unless you're going to give me some kind of an amazing thing that I'm going to have to make so much money, then yeah. But, so I would say,
Right.
Don't be so quick to give away your rights. Just make sure its project is worth it. Like for me, like, yeah, it's hard sometimes to put your foot down. Like I lost a couple of people like that I wanted to work with, but they weren't willing to go with my terms. That's okay. I mean, no hard feelings. I'm like, no worries. That's your that's your stay. That's my thing. So it's okay. We don't have to work together. We just like, you always have to find somebody who's understanding your business and they respect your business. So that would be my advice. Hopefully helps.
And absolutely, and it's always an upcoming artist fear to give their rights away, and they always wonder, well, who's it that I can trust out there, and how would I know that they won't screw me?
Yeah.
Right, because they can do all the research that they can, but they got to get to know the business and how agencies and agents, how they work like that. And so,
yeah, that's the biggest thing. Like, that's like number one fear of mine too. Is like always like, I don't want to get screwed. Right. And that's the reason I went to school to get my degree, because I knew it's a business. I know it's my passion, but at the same time, it's a business. Especially when I'm a foreigner in the country, like English is my second language. There's a lot for me to learn on top of it. So that's why I went to study, like, before even deciding to start writing and whatever, because like I wanted to get the business side of it. But the only way I would say, just like, get out of your comfort zone, like I am doing it. I know it's hard. So especially for loners like me, I know you have to get out there, network, meet people, like me and Jeremiah did, and see what happened. Now we're talking together on Instagram Live. Okay?
Absolutely.
So that's how you find your collaborators. A lot of my collaborators, I was always writing it alone by myself, like the lyrics and the music. But since I started taking the course, I met a lot of collaborators there. So we started, collaborating with other people, because they bring different, like, English is not my first language, so they might write a better lyric than me. So why not, let them incorporate something in the music. So, that's the only way. Get out there, be seen.
Y'all heard it. Y'all heard it from her. Y'all heard it.
Yeah.
Get out there and get out your comfort zone.
Yep.
Y'all heard it. And we're going to get to the last question, but I want to do a quick shout out to everybody that's tuned in to the live. We got Nareen, we got Eric, what's going on? My boy Tim,
hi, Eric.
Laura,
Eric,
Lawrence.
good friend.
Thank you everybody who showed up. Everybody that I know, everybody new. Thank you so much for tuning in. Really appreciate it. It's an awesome show, awesome conversation that we have between creatives. Like I said, it's always a pleasure to have met Zhaklin. Thank you to the Guild of Music Supervisors for putting on an awesome conference and network experience. It was an awesome day, awesome people to talk to. Now, I want to get to my favorite question to end the show with. So,
Okay.
if you were to create your own life soundtrack, saying that it's a movie about you basically and your personal story, what musical elements would you include, and what point of your life would you want to emphasize, whether it be your goals, your trials, or just your personality, whatever?
Musical elements.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I would say fire, wind, storm, all of the above, because that's
There you
how
go.
my life been. It's like, and that's life. That's what makes it so beautiful and weird and crazy. And probably I will emphasize from like childhood until now, because honestly, whatever happens in your childhood, it has so much impact on your life that basically it sets up your life, regardless if you want it or not. Like, I think it's so important that there are two choices. If something negative happens to you, you either can like go completely left and like drown yourself in your sorrow, or you can go to the right and say, you know what, I'm gonna step out of it and I'm gonna try to make it as much as I can. It might be it might not be enough. I might not succeed. Like I wrote a song like that, live and let live. If you don't try, you haven't lived. So you have to try it. At least I know I've tried. I can say that. When I'm 80-year-old in my bed, hopefully I can live like that long, but I want to say, Zhaklin, you gave it your all, girl. You gave it your all, Maybe people got it, maybe they didn't, but it's okay. You gave it your all.
I love it.
So, yeah.
I love it. I love it. So you're basically emphasizing the coming of age story of Zhaklin, basically.
Yes.
and learning all the lessons that basically life has given you and the chances that you got to take with those lessons.
Yes, definitely.
I love it. I love it so much. Zhaklin, I gotta tell you, it has been a pleasure having you on the Playlist Shuffle podcast in our Premier Lounge Talk segment. I kept telling you I was going to get you on. I never forget about you. And Eric said, well said, live life to the fullest and always try it. Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly. And thank you, Devin, for popping in. Appreciate you, bro. And
thank you so much, Jeremiah, for this opportunity. It's amazing. I'm so happy I've met you. And I know we're going to work together in a future, hopefully near future. Yes.
Absolutely.
Because you know why? Because we're not going to stop, right? We're going to keep going. We're going to do it. So, again, thank you so much for this opportunity. I'm so excited that I was your first guest. So as an artist, so it's incredible. I wish you all the success with everything that you do, with the podcast, with the music supervision, and whatever goals you trying to achieve. I will be there to support you in any way I can, because I never forget people who support me when I need it the most.
Absolutely. Support is key. Support is very important. And everything you just said, likewise, I support you, and I wish you luck in your future goals. Please keep making music. Don't stop. Don't stop doing it. So, because I
Thank
need
you.
some music to listen to on the plane. I need some good music to get me going on the plane, because I don't like flying. I do not like flying.
I know.
So I need some comfort music.
You got it. You got it.
Next time I come back to California and endure that 4 or 5 hour flight, I need some Zhaklin music.
You will have it. I promise you. All right.
This has been the Playlist Shuffle podcast. Like I said, this is the start of season 3. Be on the lookout for the upload of this show on Spotify and YouTube and Anchor.fm. I will post it on Instagram. It should be uploaded no later than Friday.
Oh,
So be
by
on the
way,
lookout for
it's
that.
my birthday Sunday, so this is a great gift for me.
Your birthday is when?
Sunday.
Sunday? Oh, well, happy birthday.
Thank you.
I knew I'd get you on a good time. Happy birthday to Zhaklin.
Thank
Happy
you.
birthday.
Thank
All
you.
day, all the best, and enjoy your holidays. Double the presents for you. Double
Yeah.
the presents for you.
I know.
This has been the premier lounge talk segment of the Playlist Shuffle podcast. We thank you all so much for tuning in, and be on the lookout for the upload. And Zhaklin, thank you again. Always a
Thank you
pleasure,
very much.
and looking forward to working with you again. And you can
Yes.
always feel free to come back. Feel free to come back.
Thank you. I shall. If you have me, I shall.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, good night, everybody. Have fun. Be safe. Have a great weekend.